Ladies and gentlemen, the Roman expedition charges across North Africa. They are here to conquer North Africa and keep expanding their sphere of influence. But on the other side, the lads that live in the desert are here to stand firm, and stand firm they will. So if you guys are looking forward to this one and would like to see more battles like this one in the future, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like and sub button, and let's get into this thing. So I'm using Sweeby, which I do not believe that they're a desert faction in this game, but you know, it is what it is. But you can see that Rome is using some of my favorite artillery to use in the game and using those explosive rounds. And we are going to watch these explosive rounds fall into these the desert people's lines here, and you will see the destruction that they cause. Men going flying everywhere, horses getting flatlined. And look at this sight. Oh, it's so cool to watch come flying in here, and then just absolute mayhem and destruction follows as men go flying everywhere, and all that's left is just massive spots of blood, body parts everywhere, and men dying. But return fire is being issued by the Sweeby, and they are doing a decent amount of damage here to that Roman cav. But speaking of Roman cav, they are starting to get close here. We do have some camels that are starting to harass the enemy a little bit with their archer capability, or missile capability rather. And we are also starting to see that the melee fight has begun on the right side. We have some Tagmata cavalry going against some Royal Sweeby cavalry. So a pretty decent fight there, and you can still see that more and more explosive rounds are flying into the Sweebian lines as they continue to push forward. And speaking of pushing forward, Rome now going into testudo formation to absorb this cav charge. A very, very, very smart idea to absorb that cav charge. Get your guys up close here and get ready for an attack, because here they go. Rome and Sweeby about to meet head to head here. You can see the men charging across the desert. More and more artillery rounds flying in overhead. Rome now repositioning for the charge, and here it goes. The clash of infantry has begun, ladies and gentlemen. Both sides now pushing forward their infantry at all due pace here. We have spears getting into testudo so that way they can protect them and their brothers around them from being gunned down. Speaking of being gunned down, we still are continuing to hear artillery and archery fire from both sides landing into each other's lines. You can see the missiles flying overhead there, finding their home in a couple of the Roman soldiers, and things are starting to get a little bit dicey for Sweeby. As you can see, the casualties that they took from those explosive rounds early on in this battle are leaving their line scarred. You can see the amount of dead men just laying on the ground as they tried pushing forward. And speaking of more of those rounds, here they come flying in to absolutely devastate the generals back here. These are the generals that they have begun targeting, and the generals are getting their men thrown around everywhere. Not a sight that you want to see if you are one of the generals units, or in the generals unit being targeted down by that heavy artillery back here, but being targeted down nonetheless. We will see 171 kills, 245 kills, 280 kills, and 121 kills. That artillery is racking up kills. And let's go see what the Sweebian artillery is doing back here. We have 86 kills, 24 kills, and 45 kills. So the Roman artillery, definitely the MVP of this battle so far, getting to the point of about 1,000 kills. Absolutely brutal as this Roman onslaught continues to push forward here. We again see that Rome is devastating. Absolutely devastating. You can see the spearmen pushing forward here, trying to break through that center, and break through that center they have. We see some Busolari guard axemen pushing through right there. Also on the flanks, we are starting to see that the Roman cav is becoming victorious. Over here on the left, we see that the general even pushed forward himself with his Busolari cavalry to secure that left flank. But we have some guard axemen here taking a few casualties from a combination of enemy missile fire and having to face an overwhelming amount of infantry, but the Romans are starting to exchange a little bit better there, and we're gonna watch this absolute travesty happen yet again, guys. I mean, look at this. How terrifying is that? And then just boom, and men just go flying. Look how far this guy flew, just tumbling across the ground over here. Oh my goodness, that's quite the sight, huh? That's quite the sight. But the front lines are starting to shatter for Suebi, and they are also starting to get surrounded by the Roman expedition. One of the generals have fallen to that artillery strike. I believe it's probably this general here, still getting targeted down. Suebian artillery now trying to turn the tide here, but at this point it's all but too late. Their front line is completely shattered as more and more Roman artillery continues to pour overhead, now just using standard rounds and crushing their enemies beneath those massive boulders. And the Romans push through and absolutely demo in the desert in this battle today. Artillery rounds still come flying in here, devastating the back lines of Suebi as they have tried to reorganize here, but at this point it's all too late. You can see now some ballista rounds flying in to cut down even more men. And yeah, that's going to be all she wrote for Suebi in this one, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys did enjoy this battle and would like to see more like it in the future, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. What you guys say means a lot to me. Hit that like and sub button. And a little surprise, if you guys have stuck around this far in the video, little bit of a surprise here as finals does get wrapped up for me. I have a little inkling to return to streaming. So I'm going to be streaming hopefully a decent amount. I'm going to say at least 3 days a week starting next week probably. Maybe even a little bit streaming this week. We'll see. No promises. But yeah, because I'm still doing finals this week. But I have an inkling to get back into streaming. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys also so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Peace.